So we're going to start looking at logic gates. The three basic logic gates we'll look at in this course, and the first one is called the OR gate. The black bit here is the chip that actually does the processing. Okay, logic gates are process devices. You can see there are actually two possible inputs here through it. You might then guess as to how it works as an OR gate from its name. If I give a positive input, okay, to one of the inputs, then the OR gate works. You can see the LED has come on there to show there's an output coming the other way. If I put it to the other one, then you can see it also works. So if A or B is on, then the OR gate will actually give you an output. Strangely, it actually works if both of them are on. If I connect this wire in as well, okay, we can see it still works, okay, if both of them are on. Okay, so as long as A or B is on or high, then the OR gate will give us an output. A simple way of showing whether a system will actually work the way you want it to work is to look at what they call a truth table. Here I have the symbol for an OR gate. We've got inputs A and B, and our output is going to be an O. If both inputs are off, we would say they are 0, and therefore my output would be 0. If we were to say that one input was on and the other one off, then we would actually get an output. If we were to swap them around, we would also get an output. And as we saw on the short video earlier, if they are both on, then we would also get an output for an OR gate. So the truth table for an OR gate would look like this. It would only be off if both inputs were actually off or low. So the next logic gate we will look at is called the AND gate. And again, you might be able to guess now as to why it's called an AND gate. We have the same two inputs, A and B. But this time, it will only work if they are both on. We can see the input there is now such that the AND gate is working in the sense that the output is high. You can see the LED is on. If one of the inputs is off, then it doesn't work. So A and B have to be on to give me an output. If we were to do the same for an AND gate, look at the truth table, this would actually show us when the AND gate would actually work the way we want it to work. And again, the clue is really in the name. So if both of the inputs are off, the output will be off. If one is on and the other one is off, then also there is no output. If we swap them around, again, no output. And the AND gate will only work if they are both on. So A and B have to be on to get an output. So the voltages A and B here would be high, and therefore my output would be high. The third logic gate that we'll look at is called an inverter. Now, if you were to invert something, you would actually turn it round the opposite way. Okay, our eyes, for instance, see an inverted image. It's your brain that turns it the right way up again. Now, the first thing you might notice, apart from the name, is that this has only got one input. Okay, they've only got one input here, and the LED is already on. The board is powered up. Now, that's the important thing to take on here, right? The board is actually powered up. If I give an input to the inverter, it goes off. So if my input is high, right, my output will be low or off. If I have no input, although the board is powered up, so my input is low, my output is high, and you can see that by the LED being on. So an inverter will actually turn things round. So this is another way of getting things to work, perhaps in daylight, when your system is set up to really work at night. This would be something to work when it gets cold, right? Whereas your system might actually be set up to work when it's hot. Okay, so an inverter actually turns the input around. So if this is high, this would be low. If this is low, as it is just now, this would be high, and you can see it is on. The truth table for an inverter is much, much simpler because I only have the one input. I've put in brackets NOT gate because it's very often referred to as a NOT gate. In other words, if A is on, the output is not on. So whatever the input is, the output is just the complete opposite. It has been inverted. So I've only got two possible inputs, 0 and 1. And if they're going to be inverted, my two possible outputs then would be 1 and 0. So in this case, a low input would give me a high output. In this case, a high input would give me a low output. And the inverter is a good way of just changing the output if the conditions change.